When Julie and I are presenting workshops at RV shows, one of the most common questions we get asked from people that are interested in full timing is, how do I get my mail? Today's show is all about that subject. Kirk from My RV Mail is going to tell us about getting mail on the road and the extra advantages of using a mail service that also provides you with an address to establish a domicile. So let's jump in and learn from Kirk.
Hi, Kirk. Welcome to the show. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your role at My RV Mail?
Hello, guys. I appreciate you having me today. Um, so, I'm currently the owner and CEO of My RV Mail. So, I'm originally from Mississippi, uh, born and raised Biloxi, probably about an hour from New Orleans, in a little town called D'Iberville. Born and raised, and sort of a funny story, Hurricane Katrina hit back in 2005 and completely ravaged that area over there. So that's kind of how I ended up in Florida, kind of by just, luck, may have you. But that's how it all started, pretty much.
I couldn't tell by your accent that you were from somewhere around New Orleans.
Yeah, big Saints fan.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you moved to Florida, was that when you started the My RV Mail?
No, so my dad, my dad and his wife, they're one of the founders of Passport America. They're a big RV club in the industry. So they came up with the idea early back in 2002, and they was using it as an early benefit for their members, for Passport America members. But the name actually came from MySpace. Whenever MySpace was real popular back in the day, that's kind of how my RV Mail came into play. But they had it, and then it's just really funny the way it all worked out. The Hurricane Katrina, was my ticket out of Mississippi. So once I moved to Florida, my dad was like, "Hey, look, we have this product here, and it's working really well. It's really small, and wanted to see if you wanted to, head it up and just kind of see what you can do with it." So I was like, "Sure, absolutely." And it couldn't have been in a better state, Florida. It's a big retirement state. So My RV Mill was a perfect, perfect arrangement. But that's how it all started, and then I took it over and just took the ball and ran with it pretty much.
Nice.
And like, if you had to give a 30-second pitch about what My RV Mail is, can you tell us kind of what it is?
Yeah. So My RV Mail is unique in the sense that we have a comprehensive, complete virtual mailbox. So our customers are able to experience the digital part of mail forwarding. So we're a complete digital mail service. Everything, all of the mail items that come to our facility here are digitized. We've got I invest heavily in technology. That's kind of, when I took it over in 2000, I actually bought it in 2008. But early on in the early days in 2005, when all the technology was happening, with the iPad and stuff, I was always fascinated. So, I've always been, wanting to build this thing, with the best technology, as possible. But what makes us unique is just the engineering that goes into it. I invest extremely heavy in technology. So we've got an incredible engineering team here, but everything's digitized here. All the mail items. It's sort of like the informed delivery that you get with the post office, except it's with our product, you're able to take an action immediately. So everything's all inclusive. So when you log into your virtual mailbox, you're able to see images of all your mail items, and you can take action. You can shred unwanted mail. You can have your mail shipped. You can request for us to open up the envelope and scan the contents. You get custom shipping. We can deposit your checks to your bank. We've got Google Drive integration, Dropbox integration. So just an enormous amount of benefits our customers are able to enjoy.
And I know you're called RV Mail, but is it only for RVers? Do you have other people using the service?
A big majority of our customers are RVers. Most of them are full timers. We've got over 10,000 RVers that use our services. Most of them are full time RVers, but probably I'd say 20% of our business are from, probably 10% of our business are from snowbirds, you winter birds. Then you got traveling nurses, truckers, entertainers that want to use our services. They see RV mail, they don't think that you can use it for other things as well. So
yeah, that's why I was curious. But it sounds like you could. It sounds like it could be integrated.
Absolutely, yeah. A lot of our traveling nurses and truckers, they use our services, and it works very well for them.
And so when somebody uses your service, they get a physical address?
They do. It's a legal physical street address that our customer is able to use to set up domicile. So our county, Okaloosa County, a huge military presence here, big RV community. We work very closely with the tax collector's office here. They understand what we do here. Our customers are mainly retired. They've sold their home and, wherever it may be, bought a big rig, an RV or a fifth wheel or a boat, and now that becomes their house. So those people, they need a place to call home. So we're able to set them up a physical address here in Florida where they can call home. Florida is a big retirement state. There's no state income tax. They don't tax your pension checks here in Florida. There's no inspections, there's no admissions. Little things like that matter when you're traveling. There's no personal property tax. I can go on and on about Florida.
Yeah.
So then when somebody signs up for the service, they notify, I guess, everybody, post office, and their Amazon, their preferred address to you guys. So then literally everything goes to you.
Yep. So your snowbirds, what they'll do is they'll put in what you call a temporary forwarding at the post office. They'll have all their mail sent to us temporarily. Those snowbirds, they'll migrate down south for the winter, and then they're back home. So in those 3 or 4 or 5 months, we take care of their mail, while they're on the road. But now the full-time people, their mail comes directly to us. This is like their home. All their mail, their banks, IRS, Social Security, all that mail comes here directly. It's not being forwarded from the post office. This is like their home mailbox here.
Okay. And you had mentioned like the travel nursing, the truck. So do you have a personal or premium choice plus a business? Do you have like a business plan?
Yeah. So we've got 2 plans. We've got the premium plan and the business. So everything is digitized. So the premium plan is all inclusive. You get a virtual mailbox that you can log into and manage your mail. With the business plan, it's an extra bonus. A lot of business travelers, they've got clients that they communicate with. So we added a phone feature, a phone system that they can enjoy. So as a business member, you're able to buy local and toll-free phone numbers, for like $1 each. A lot of people that travel, and if you're a business traveler, and if you've got customers, you don't want your customers calling your personal cell phone, so you can buy an extra, an additional number, a local number, or a toll-free number. Your customer would call that number, and you can have those calls, transferred to your cell phone. You've got your own personal greetings, and stuff like that. It's just a built-in phone system on your account that you can manage for your customers.
That's pretty cool. I never heard of that before. I think I wouldn't mind having a a phone number that's detached from my personal number, and I don't even have a business. I think that sounds pretty cool.
I think you can buy an additional number for like $1. You get to choose your own phone number, and then your customers would call that number, and then you can manage your customers with that number.
Okay.
So you're a premium member. You're gonna receive whatever pieces of mail they get. Then you guys scan the envelope, like the post office.
The way it's built, so we've got a high-tech camera. You know the camera that takes a picture of your tag on the toe?
Yeah.
It's a camera very similar to that. The mail goes over a big conveyor belt, a big machine, and then the camera just takes a picture of the envelope. It's a very high-tech camera system. And what happens is our engineers, they program the algorithm to when that camera takes a picture of it, it'll read the name of that member and it'll insert that envelope into their account immediately. So it's a pretty sophisticated little setup.
Hey, that sounds cool.
And then as a user, I see that envelope and I'm like, man, I really can't wait for that to be shipped to me. I would like to see what's inside.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, now the only thing that we don't image is your junk mail. So, like those mail order catalogs, your advertisements, we don't image those, just your important mail. So when you see an image, you're going to have a list of images on your account. And then you just simply go down your list and just pick and choose. If there's something that you need to read that's urgent and you need it immediately, you can request a content scan, and we'll open up that envelope, scan the contents, and send it to your account in a PDF. Now you can read it immediately that same day. You don't have to wait for us to ship it to you.
That's cool.
It's very convenient for travelers that need their mail. I don't have to wait for us to ship it to them.
And then if I get a package, it's sort of the same thing. It'll get scanned on the conveyor. And then
you'll see the outside cover of the package, the label, who it's from. And even if there's a magazine that you subscribe to, you'll see the cover, who it's from. Now, you can shred it if you don't want it. You can have it shredded. But yeah, we your mail items are a mixture of mail, packages, and subscription magazines.
And then what's the turnaround time to, let's say I'm going to be at a location for a week or so I can say, send me my mail.
Sure.
What's the typical turnaround time for that for you guys to gather?
These members they're on the move. They're hopping from campground to campground. They're at a different location every week. So it's our responsibility to get that mail to them quickly. We've got a special partnership with FedEx. Their 2-day delivery. It's guaranteed in 2 days, 3 days to max, depending on the weather. If something happened, but very economical, roughly around $10. And you can stuff a lot of mail in an envelope up to 2 pounds. Oh. If you've got packages, it could increase it a little bit. But again, we can use a larger FedEx 2-day packet and be able to get your mail to you quickly.
Okay, so it goes by FedEx.
FedEx, and we can ship it regular snail mail through the post office. Let's say you got a couple pieces of mail. We can just send it regular snail mail for $3 or $4, and ship it to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to jump back just real quickly to when you're opening the mail to scan the inside, somebody's got to be wondering about like privacy.
Sure.
Is there anything in place for once you open somebody's mail, they got to be able to see, like, how could you?
Right. It's a good question. We get that quite a bit. So we have 2 individuals. That's solely their job. So we don't have 5, 10 employees opening up mail. So Robert and Caleb are our 2 guys. That's their job. That's what they do all day long. Is they open up and scan mail. Um, we've got cameras here. All of our employees are screened. As far as security, our customers, their mail, their names are never floating around in dumpsters or trash cans. Um, we've got locked containers. If someone trashes their mail, it goes into a locked container. And we have our own shredding company that comes here on site. They shred, any unwanted mail that may be. Yeah.
That sounds good.
Yeah. That's the main thing. It's just that this one individual, that's his sole job. That's his, he's been with me for about 8 years now. And.
How many pieces of mail do you get on average per day?
Oh my goodness. I know per week, I think we figured probably around 25, 30,000 envelopes a week, probably.
And
on average.
And is a lot of it sounds like some of the process is automated. So is there a lot of, do you have a big staff to handle all that?
We do. We've got 19 employees. We've got 19 employees here, and that's what they do. The mail comes in here, they process it, and the goal is to get it on the belt. We've got to get rid of all the junk mail. When I say junk mail, I mean obvious junk mail.
Mm-hmm.
Like those advertisements. If it's like a mail order catalog, or something important. But the goal is to get it on the belt. That way we can get it processed. But, we've got a big team that takes in all the incoming mail and gets it processed.
I was just thinking that this is a nice service just to get rid of your junk mail, because junk mail is kind of a hassle for everybody, but you're taking that hassle out already.
Yeah, because it would cost a fortune for us to ship that mail to our customers. I mean, on average for every important piece of mail, there's 10 pieces of junk mail for every first class mail. There's so much junk mail that comes in here. If I had to send a customer their mail, their junk mail, I would have to fill up a box or two to ship it to them. But we have to control it. We've got to be able to control it. And like I said, our shredding company, they're constantly shredding that mail. All that mail gets made back into paper products at the end of the year. So we're also working here at Myra Mail.
So I was also curious, you had said that you use FedEx and it's 2-day. If somebody wanted something overnighted, if it was really that important to them, is it possible?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's very, very popular. We've got overnight services with FedEx and UPS. We don't like to use USPS because it's not really a guaranteed 1 day. Usually you'll get it 2 days. But with FedEx, some of these commercial carriers like UPS, they guarantee their deliveries. I mean, it'll get on a jet that day. You'll have it the next day. But yeah, it's guaranteed.
Nice.
Especially with medication and packages. Some of those members, they want that, those items immediately.
Yeah, you mentioned medication. I know sometimes people get medication that needs to be refrigerated, or, it comes in a refrigerated container. You guys can handle that as well?
Yes, big part of our business is packages. A lot of our veterans, they depend on us getting their medication to them. So we have our own refrigeration system here that we can refrigerate their medication. But packages are huge. We've got a large space capacity to be able to handle packages. But we don't charge any extra fees to receive packages. We don't charge any storage fees. So we don't penalize our customers for storing the packages.
Is there a limit to what somebody could have shipped? Like, could somebody, I don't know, is there a limit?
Some companies, they'll give you a cap, so you can receive like 30 mail items a month, and they'll start charging you after that. But we don't hold our customers accountable like that. We don't charge any extra fees. We don't limit the mail. You can receive 1,000 pieces of mail, a month. It doesn't matter. We don't charge any storage fees for mail or packages. A lot of companies, they'll charge storage fees.
And that's the same whether if you have the personal or the business, they're
It
both
is
unlimited.
same. Yeah,
Okay.
the only difference with the business and premium is the phone system.
Okay.
You get a little bit. You get your check depositing. You get more. The business plan, the check depositing is free.
Okay.
And then when you ship to the customer, since you're using FedEx, they must get a tracking number to
They
be able to
do.
track that package as
Yeah,
well.
they'll get an email first. They'll get an email. Our notification system is pretty important because we email our customers for everything. Certified mail, they'll get an alert. If they get a jury summons, they'll get an alert.
Uh,
When we ship their package, they'll get a notification that their package is en route. So yeah, they'll get an email, and they can also log into their account and they can see their shipment in progress.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think I saw on your website that you have an app. So is that, I'm guessing that's phone based, and they can track what abilities does the app have?
Sure. So everything you can do on the website when you log in, you can do on the app. App is just a little bit more convenient. Probably 70% of our members use the app because it's more of a convenience for them. But we've had the app for about 6 years now, and we've developed it. We had a few bumps and bruises in the beginning, but now we've perfected it. Our members really love our app.
And does it work on both Apple and Android?
It sure does. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
So somebody gets something. You said that it works just like you would a desktop, so they can see what was scanned right from that app, and then make a decision.
They can log into their account, from their app, and they can go to their scan page. So when we scan the contents of their envelope, we'll send that PDF to their account. They just simply log into their account, and they're able to retrieve it there. Now, once you retrieve it, you can print it. You can send it to your QuickBooks. You can send it to your Google Drive. You can shred it, whatever you want. Email it. It's in a PDF, and these scanned images are in a crisp color image, very legible.
Just drifting a little bit, you guys are right, very close, it seems like, to Interstate 10, which is a major east-west travel route for, I would imagine, especially snowbirds that are traveling in the winter. If they're going to be by your place, can they swing by and pick up their mail?
Absolutely, yeah. They're constantly coming by and picking up their mail if they're in the area. And we offer free boondocking. We've got 8 acres here behind my RV mail. So our customers, when they come by and pick up their mail, they can stay overnight for free. All of our customers can stay boondock for free.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's common. They come. They just swinging through the area. They just don't want us to ship it, so they just come by and pick it up. So we don't charge any fees or anything like that to pick up your mail.
And they get a free night stay.
Get a free night stay. Yep, absolutely.
That's awesome. You'd be surprised, like when how often this question is asked. So I think the service that you're providing is awesome, because people, I bet you it's in the top 5 questions when people say, hey, I'm going to go start full-timing. How do I get mail? I bet it's got to be in the top 5.
It is. Yeah, domicile is huge here, especially for our full-timers. You got your 3 big states. You got Florida, Texas, and South Dakota. And we feel Florida gives you the most benefits because they don't, some states, they require you to come back, for a vehicle inspection. But here in Florida, there's not a lot of red tape here. You don't have to come back each year for inspections. There's no emissions, and plate fees are very low here in Florida. On average, about $50 a year to tag your RV. So just, people are drawn to Florida because of that, those benefits mainly.
Yeah, it cost me $52 a year to register my RV down there.
Is that right?
Yeah.
It's cheap. It really is.
Yeah.
I'll give you one more benefit too to having Florida as your domicile, because it used to be my state, is that you can get the annual pass discount at Walt Disney World.
Absolutely. Not only that, state parks. You get big discounts to state parks.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, and Disney World, of course, that's the big one there.
Yeah, you get a really nice resident discount with Disney World. It makes it's like what you would pay for 2 days in the park. They'll give you the whole year.
It is. It's insane.
I was just thinking, if it being a prior military person, and you guys being close to like you're close to Eglin, Duke Field, Pensacola Naval Air Station. When people deploy, it seems like because you guys are so tech focused and you've integrated technology very well, it would seem like if people were deployed, this would be a good service to use for mail because they could just log onto the computer and see what's there.
It really is. That's why we give military discounts. But I think the name is kind of, we have a lot of military members, but I feel like we could have much more if they knew about us. And I think they may get stuck on the name RV Mail, so maybe that may be drawing them away. But it's kind of word of mouth right now. We advertise military discount just to let them know that we also service the military as well. But you're right; it would be amazing. A lot of these, and some of our members that are deployed, they just absolutely love the service. And they try to tell their friends about it. But I'm working on trying to reach out to the military a little bit more.
Is the service monthly, yearly? Do you sign a contract?
So no contract. It's you just have to agree to terms and conditions, of course, with mail. But you can either go monthly or annually. It's a little cheaper per month if you go for the year. So the way it's set up, you can buy it for 10 months and you get it for 12. It's a little bit cheaper per month. And the beauty about the 12-month plan is that you can turn it on and off. So if you're a snowbird, if you want to get into that cheaper monthly rate, you can, when you're back home after 4 months, we can turn the account off. And then next year, when you get back on the road, we'll turn it back on. You still have those months remaining.
So that's nice.
It's not a full calendar year. You can turn it on and off for up to 3 years.
Oh, wow.
But some people, the monthly is more convenient for them, so we have that available for them.
It's nice, though, that you pause it when it's turned off.
Absolutely, yeah.
And they're getting, like you said, they're getting the cheaper rate. They're getting 12 for the price of 10 in that sense. That's the way I would go. That sounds like the way to go.
Exactly.
Especially if you can pause up to 3 years.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys are very, to me anyway, sounds very flexible, very, very lenient, I would say.
We are. Yeah, we got to, customers, we've got to be able to work around their schedule. Sometimes they'll plan a trip and then, something will come up and then they're not able to go out, so we'll just turn the account off for them. They can use it, when they get back on the road.
And would you say most of the stuff, it sounds like to me anyway, most of the communication between you and your customers can be mostly all electronic then?
It is, but you got those customers, they need to hear that voice. So they'll still call us because they need to be able to hear, the other person, their voice. But I tell you, there really is a need for, there's very little communication through the telephone because, they're able to do everything they need to do on their account pretty much. It's kind of like an Amazon account when you log into your Amazon account. How often do you talk to an Amazon rep?
Never.
They make it user friendly so you can do everything, at your fingertips. So that's what we try to do, with our customers, just make it simple for them.
Yeah, it sounds like you're more of a technology company that delivers and accepts mail more than a mail company that has online service.
Right. Yeah. Some people tell us we do a better job than the post office.
So I'm curious, you had talked a little bit about word of mouth. What have been some of your your marketing. I think Sean found out about you guys from the Tampa show. So I guess obviously you're going to Tampa shows. Are you guys on social media? Are you using Instagram and things like that to get, or are you doing paid advertising, anything like that?
We don't. Most of our advertising is through Passport America. We're in their big book, their directory. Mm-hmm. So if you're a Passport America member, you probably heard about My RV Mail. But, a lot of it is word of mouth. A lot of word of mouth. People, you can look at our Google page and we've got, 5 stars.
Nice.
Just an enormous amount of reviews. People just, love the service. But I've just kind of relied on word of mouth and, through Passport America as well.
And do you go to the Florida Super Show every year, or?
No. The Florida one I do.
Yeah.
There's about 3 other ones that I'd like to be at. But yeah, Florida Tampa show, that's a must. I've always been at that one. So yeah, we've got a booth right next to Passport America.
Oh, okay.
In Tampa.
And then the Hershey show is a big one. I don't know if you've ever been to the Hershey show.
I've got my eyes on that one. I've been trying to get on there for years, but someone pretty much has to die before you get on the list.
Oh, is that so? Oh, yeah, I didn't know that.
I mean, it's just so hard to get on that list there,
That's good to know. I never knew that they didn't. I guess it makes sense that they don't have an unlimited amount of space for everybody. So I guess they do have to have a cutoff. And I guess whoever's been there.
Yeah, I'm on the list, though. I'm just waiting for my call. I've been on it for about 2 or 3 years to get that call back.
Wow.
I like to be at that one and the one in Arizona. There's a big one in Arizona.
The Quartzsite or?
Yeah, Quartzsite.
Yep, that's a big one. Yeah,
there's another one in Arizona too. The big one. I'd like to be at.
I can't think of another one, but Sean might.
Yeah, Quartzsite's the main one though. That's the one that's in the works as well.
They're the big 3: the Tampa, Hershey, and Quartzsite. They're sure. Yeah. So, are you on a list for the Quartzsite one as well?
I'm not. Yeah, I'm just kind of right now. Tampa's done well for me. Done really well for me. It kind of gives us the exposure we need. And makes us relevant.
Yeah, this year travel day. This year they have record attendance. So
it was amazing. Yeah, it was good to see that. Some of those RVs are incredible.
Yeah. And do you actually sign people up for the service at the show?
We do. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a little bit of a process. So, it takes, when someone joins a mail service, it's got to be planned out. You've got to plan your trip. So there's a lot of thinking that's involved, with signing up with the mail service. But most of those customers, they'll end up, reading our material, going to our website, and then they'll make a decision and just join. Usually they'll join on the website.
Okay, so that initial setup doesn't really require a phone call either then. They're able to do that just through the website.
They could, but you've got some of those people where before they join a company, they want to hear a voice.
Yeah. So,
we sign a lot of customers up over the phone as well because it's more comfortable for them.
Okay.
But the website is definitely more efficient. It's more efficient. And you get an address immediately. So once you sign up, you'll get a welcome email from our company, just welcoming you to the company. And it'll be a summary of your entire account, your new address, your PMB number. There's a form you got to fill out. They've got to get notarized. So it's a bit of a process, some paperwork involved in it. But they can navigate on their account, mainly get familiar with their new virtual mailbox. And that's mainly the beginning of that. And then they've got to get their mail forwarded. They've got to make arrangements for their mail to get sent to our facility. So there's some careful planning, but once it's set up, it works seamlessly.
Well, I got another question for you, Kirk, and you don't have to answer this if you don't want to. I'm curious. So you said that when somebody signs up, they get a physical address immediately. So do you have a stockade of addresses just ready to go, or is it something that you add as people sign up? How does that work, or can you kind of explain how that works?
Yeah, so this address is shared with over 10,000 travelers. So when you sign up with RV Mail, you get one physical street address that's shared with all of our travelers. What makes that customer unique is their P&B number. That's how we identify who they are, is by that mailbox number. But the address itself, there's only one address. That's the address at the facility here.
Okay. And then are you, as a company, able to add as many box numbers as you want, or are you capped?
No, we're not capped. So some of our customers, the ones that end up not traveling anymore, they'll buy a house or they're just done traveling. They'll really end up using their mailbox at some point. So we usually will hold their box for like 6 months, and then if we know all the mail has been filtered out, then someone else will take that mailbox.
Oh, okay.
But we don't keep, we don't keep going, you know. The way it's programmed, I think we're at like 10,200 right now.
Oh.
200, yeah. But is that what you meant?
Yeah. Yep. No, you got, yeah. You answered that perfectly. That's cool.
Okay.
And then all of the plan information, the fees, all that stuff is listed on myrvmail.com. Is that?
It is. Yes, it's on myrvmail.com. Just go to the homepage and you'll see all our plans, and it talks about each plan, and also the prices are right there as well. And there's also a section there where you can join. Joining the service is simple. They just put in their profile, their name, address, and email address, and they just choose their plan.
And what do you think is the hardest part of running a business like this?
Let me think here. Just making sure everybody's happy. If someone has a gripe, I really try to be involved in it. These customers, they want to know that the people that are handling their mail, are trustworthy. So we just try to give them a peace of mind, but mainly, the hardest part, it's hard to say, I tell you. I guess managing employees sometimes can be difficult.
Yeah.
But no, customers, it just depends. Some of them can be very needy, so I'm very involved in their issues if they have any. So try to make everybody happy is my biggest challenge.
I'm really pleasantly surprised, because when we started the interview, before we started the interview, I was thinking this was going to be a very manual process that required a lot of people. So it's cool that you guys have integrated technology the way that you have to make it more, it's probably less errors than people handling it, and
absolutely,
and just a smoother process, I guess, for the customer on the back end.
That was the goal in the beginning. I'm always thinking innovation. That's and who knows in the next 5 years, we will be, but that's my forefront is technology. I'm trying to constantly change technology and keep up with, what's going on in today's market, very important. Because that's pretty much the direction that we're heading. People are traveling, they want convenience. And my thing is I want, convenience for our customers. I want it to be very convenient for them.
Well, Kenny, did you have another question?
That's what I was going to say, but go ahead.
Kurt, I think that's all of our questions. Is there anything we might have missed or anything you want to add to the conversation?
I can't think of it. I think we pretty much covered pretty much everything.
Okay. Well, we really appreciate you coming on and taking the time to chat with us about how your service works and what it's all about. And I think it's cool.
Thank
I
you.
think it sounds great.
Yeah.
Well, appreciate you guys having me. I've enjoyed it.
I really enjoyed this chat with Kirk and appreciate him taking the time to explain the history of My RV Mail and how it started as a perk for being a Passport America member. I also enjoyed learning how the mail service works and had no idea just how tech heavy a company like this would be. I love the idea of being able to use an app to monitor and control the mail. If you are an RVer or just someone who is always on the move and looking for a solution of how to manage your mail, check out myrvmail.com. As always, we want to thank our sponsors, Battleborn Batteries and Temp Stick, for their continued support of helping us bring you an inside look of the RV industry. Take care, everyone, and safe travels.